So I've made a solid, thick black border around this. Cool, that's pretty straightforward. But there's another thing I'd kind of like to do. You know how usually when we frame a picture, we want a mat between the frame and the image? And you might think, well, I have to put a div tag around it and then put a background in the div and put a border around the div. But you know what? You can do it just with the image. Watch this. So the other thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to add some padding. Now remember I said padding goes inside the box, margin goes outside the box. And usually you wouldn't think you'd use padding with an image because you want margin outside the image. But if you have a border, you have the option to use padding. And if you add padding in a background color, you can add a matte to your image. So let's do that. Again, I'm in my layout options. Now we set margin before to move that arrow up and down. We're going to do padding this time. If you want exactly the same amount of padding all the way around, click that little lock, and I can do 25 pixels of padding all the way around. I don't have to type it 4 times. If you're really into matting, you might say, yeah, actually, I want 25 pixels all the way around. Get it to save that, whoops. And then at the bottom, I want 40 pixels, right? Because most of us make the mat a little thicker at the bottom than around the side. Isn't that nice that you can control that so precisely? So now look what's happened. It's moved that border, let me zoom back out, away from the image. Now don't worry about my arrows. I'll take the border off the arrows, don't worry. But I wanted you to see this is applying to all of the images that fall in this place, right? Sometimes that's handy. Sometimes you can take care of 3 images at once this way. But if you don't want it, you can also undo things in styles. And that's an advanced tip I'll show you in a second for those arrows. So now the one other thing I might do is, do I want a white mat or do I want maybe one of those sort of beige, I don't know, what's the color they use for mats, that kind of cream color? So that's just a background color, right? We're setting the background color around this image, which is only going to appear because we have a border and we put some padding around it, and now that background's going to show up. And if I click on the background options, I can change the background color. And let me just find kind of a matte-like color. I'll just guesstimate it instead of typing in the hexadecimal color code. And you can see now, I've created kind of a matte around that image just by using CSS to style around that image. No extra image, that'll load so fast, and I can apply that to every image in my site automatically, and I can change the color, shape, size, spacing on all of those images later.